Stopped by my favorite warehouse today to start acquiring some components to build a little race car for Carrie. Gonna try to get it prepped for September DE, just in track form, not doing all the safety interior stuff just yet, but got exhaust, got some suspension stuff on order, some cooling things, getting ready to get this going. Round one begins this weekend. Well, I was gonna start working on Carrie's race car this morning, but found out I got a tree on a fence, so I gotta take care of this first, delaying my race car time, but life and duty calls. Time to get cracking on this E36 sedan that we picked up from actually a neighbor just down the street as a non-running E36. Got a pretty good deal on it. Overall looks pretty good. The body paint is not in great condition, but the structure of everything is looking pretty solid. So I think it's going to be a good donor to build into a race car. It's an automatic, so got our work cut out for us a little bit as need to do a manual swap, and really about to crack into this thing of just getting it ready for a DE weekend. Not full race car cage just yet, but this thing's actually never going to see the street again. So going to go ahead and start taking some race car approach on some things. So got a pile of stuff over here. We got MagnaFlow exhaust, some suspension stuff, transmission, pedals, trans brace, clutch flywheel, cooling things, electric fan conversion, some PowerFlex bushings, expansion tank, of course, some silicone hoses, some various reinforcements, some fluids, engine mounts. Yeah, kind of the works to go ahead and get cracking with this thing as a phase one of the project. And got our work cut out for us. Carrie's out of town this weekend. Otherwise, she would be down here helping out. But we'll get her down here when she's back in town because I only have a few weeks to get this thing prepped, trans swap, and some suspension things done before it goes out on track at a September DE. So looking forward to hustling to get this thing done and, well, get Carrie on track and have a little fun in her own vehicle. Making a little progress. Got the exhaust out. This thing's actually really clean underneath. Exhaust floating over there. Now I'm trying to take the diff out, and the diff is fighting me a bit as, I don't know if you can see that, but these bolts here are covered in grime, and I'm trying to clean them off. And, well, one of them I believe I have stripped. A couple of them are on there super tough. Who knows when these things were last off. Don't mind my headdress. This is to help keep my hair out of my face in a way. We're using some of those old gaiters from the COVID days. Anyways, I'm going to keep cracking on this and see if I can't get these bolts loose so I can get this diff out, because I've got to do a diff swap to a 315 for the rule set of the class we're going to run in this. And I so happen to have a 315 LSD sitting in the basement. So that's convenient. I'm going to get that thing thrown in once I get these bolts out. I said, hey, Pat, you got some tools? And next thing I know, Pat shows up here with some tools ready to help me out with those ding-dang diff bolts that are up under there. So we'll see if Mr. E36 himself can get these babies off.
You struggling, Phil?
A little bit.
Aren't BMW starter bolts like the best?
I love BMW starter bolts and these bolts at the top of the transmission.
They're so easy to get to, aren't they?
Oh gosh, what a pain mug. You know what? Here's a hoping that one came free.
It sounds free. I mean, I didn't hear any bald eagle screeches or anything, but it sounded pretty free. Insert noise. Are you winning, Phil?
I think so.
Is it spinning a little too easily there, Phil? Or just easily enough?
No, just easily enough.
Heck yeah. Alright. Just don't forget the 110 mil on the front that's there for zero reason.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead and hit that now.
Because I usually forget that, and I've got a couple of dust shields with a really nice hex through them. When I just ripped it.
With the help of Mr. Pat, I don't even know what my face looks like right now. It probably has stuff all over it. But with the help of Mr. Pat, transmission is out, sitting right there. So that's a milestone in this whole process. Now to get the flex plate off, clean some stuff up, probably remove the, I want to remove all that covering crap, whatever. But yeah, I hate those things. It just drops dust in your eyes. So we'll get the blanket, shroud, whatever out of there as well and start prepping for transmission going in. We'll probably work on pedals here shortly though. This is ingenuity to get some coolant out. It's kind of working. Since I've got to put manual pedals in this car anyways, I'm going to go ahead and add the BimmerWorld pedal covers that we've got right here. And then also going to replace the stock bushings. These things wear out, these little plastic bushings, with some Delrin bushings that go in there, whoop, in there to help reduce slop that's side to side on these things as they definitely get worn out. Nice thing about these pedals, got these grippies on here that, especially when wet, allow your feet to stay adhered to the pedal, which you don't want it to slip off. And then this pedal is a little bit wider that allows some easier heel toe action. And actually, with Carrie, sometimes I position it a little bit over just since she has smaller feet than me. You know, I've actually switched it up in my car before and then swapped it back so that she can have a easier time heel toeing. And actually, it does make quite an improvement. So, time to get these babies mounted on and then get the pedals in the car. Got the trailing arms out of this thing. I am still a little bit torn on if I'm going to go ahead and take the subframe out at this phase. Got subframe bushings and reinforcements and things on hand in case I decide to do it. But with a little bit of time crunch I've got going on, subframe looks okay. Doesn't look like there's cracks in the body. Of course, tough to tell until you actually get the subframe out. Trailing arm pockets look good. Just going to do one DE before hitting all the reinforcement things. So I need to get cracking on getting these trailing arms all in order. This joint is super shot. The trailing arm bushing is absolutely destroyed. That thing is moving very lightly just with my hand. So nice little progress tonight. Just going to keep chipping away at this thing with a little bit of time we got before its first shakedown event. Continuing on with my mess out here, just got some stuff out of the trailing arms. These joints right here, knocked those out on these things. Getting ready to put ball joints in, but actually I'm going to move to the clutch and transmission. I'm going to go ahead and start putting the clutch and transmission in because I got a couple parts from the shop today. This is actually not my preferred clutch solution for one of these cars, but it is required by the rules. Well, you could use a stock clutch or move to this Vallejo single mass flywheel conversion. So I'm going to get this tossed in, get the pilot bearing in, get the flywheel on, get the clutch on, and then see if I can't get the transmission in this thing today. Clutch is in, did not get the transmission in because I am missing the transmission brace. I thought what I had was a manual transmission cross brace, cross member, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But what I've got is an automatic. That's not going to work for this manual transmission. So I need to go raid around in the basement, see if I can find a manual transmission brace. I think I just sold like 3 not that long ago, thinking I would never mess with an E36 again. Turns out I am. So hopefully I have one left over. If not, I know where I can find one. So we'll see if I can track one of these down and then get cracking on getting the trans in and continue on this red E36 track car, race car project. Transmission is in. So now I need to get the race shifter in and hook up all the pedal things. Still waiting on a couple pieces for the pedals. But for now, I'm going to take a little break, take the rest of the night off, and hit this again coming up soon.